Hello, hi ladies and gentlemen, my name is Thomas MacDonald and this is my review of Umbrella Corps, the new sort of game to the Resident Evil franchise. It's kind of like a spin-off. Capcom are very famous for doing spin-offs like the Survivor series, Dead Aim and such. This is the newest one. The last one was Operation Raccoon City. This game does draw very much similarities from that. So I just want to state one thing: I'm a loyalist. I'm a fanboy, basically. In modern terms, people call us fanboys. I've been a fan of the series since I was 8 years old, back in 1996. I tricked my parents into buying me the first Resident Evil game, even though I couldn't play it. I was 8 years old and I managed to get my brother to play it, and we sat and just loved the series since then. Times have changed and we now have this. A lot of fans are not happy with it, a lot of fans are happy with it, there's mixed opinions, there's a lot of confusing, conflicting reports, and the main point I'm making this video is I'm a part of a few Facebook groups. One is the Resident Evil Collectors Hub, and I read a guy's review who basically said he was sat on the edge about buying the game. And on Steam, a lot of people are saying that they're reading a lot of reviews, they're reading good reviews, they're reading bad reviews, they're not too sure what to do. And it saddens me that we're living in this computer game industry today where gamers are sort of conflicted between, if they buy a game, then they're going to get slated for buying a game. If they don't buy a game, they're going to get slated by fans for not buying a game. It's kind of madness. So I'll give you a little bit of information about myself and how much of a fan I am, and then we'll get into the actual review. As I said, my name's Thomas MacDonald. I'm a cosplayer. I go up and down the country in the UK dressed up as one of the Umbrella soldiers, mainly based on hunk. It's the easiest. I hate my face and I hate my voice, so I get to wear a gas mask, and it hides me very well. I own various novelty items. I own like energy drinks. This is the T-Virus antidote energy drink. This is the Gamescom Resident Evil 2 sort of game for the Gamescom. I can't show you everything because it's all on the shelf behind you and the camera's bolted, but I have like a custom Samurai Edge airsoft gun, which is like the Samurai Edge pistol. Some over here, there's like, I have like two shelves basically. The shelf behind you is full of like US and UK PAL version stuff, and then they have all like the Japanese Biohazard collector stuff over there, and clothing and stuff. As you can see, I'm wearing a baseball cap and I wear backpacks and stuff. I'm not affiliated with Capcom in any way. I am not being paid for this. This is just my own review. I will say there's a lot of things about this game I don't like, and I'm going to get into that very shortly, but I just wanted to give you a little history as to who I am and why I'm making this review, and that is basically there's a lot of conflicting reports, so I just hoped my review would shed a bit of light with some video that you can see and hear like a genuine review. Back last year I did get invited to Capcom's office in Hammersmith, London. There'll be a link for that in the description. You can see all the photos of that. I got to play Resident Evil Revelations 2, and I believe it was the first HD remake. It might have been the year before, I can't remember when, but the photos are there for you to have a look anyway. That's a link to my Facebook, and you can see all the cosplay that I do. Right, without further ado, let's get into the actual game itself. So this is the menu screen, and one of the big gripes that a lot of people have, and I sort of was very worried about, because when the game was first announced, Unity was the engine of choice that they were choosing to make this, and I've used Unity myself to make a first person game, which didn't get very far, and I own a lot of Unity titles on Steam. If you're a PC Master Race, you've made the right choice. you will know that in the Steam Early Access section, it is littered with survival Unity type games that basically, like Stranded Deep and a few others, and the art style is normally very 90s PlayStation 1 type of graphics, very sort of watercoloured or cartoony. This is not, and this was one of the main selling points that I wanted the game for, apart from like other things, like I wanted to get ideas for cosplay. The graphic style is livable, and I say livable as in like I can play it for hours. I played it all day yesterday. It came out on the 21st, it's the 22nd today. I played it all day yesterday on the day it came out. A lot of issues on the launch, but what game doesn't have launch day issues? You name me one title that launched and was launched smoothly. There isn't very many. As you can see in the background, there's like a little cutscene. The graphics are okay. The menus are basic, so anyone can pick up and play, which I liked, except for the fact that you needed to press, well, on a keyboard, I needed to press O to get the options up. That threw me off a little bit because I sat there for like 5 minutes trying to look for options, going, where's my video settings? And then I looked down and seen I had to press O. But that's my own little gripe, petty me. You get your standard settings, you get your game sensitivity, PC mode, you get your screen resolution. There is a reason why I'm only playing on 1600 by 900, and that is because I play in window mode when I do these videos, so that I don't have dual monitors. I need to sort of see Twitch chat. Options are pretty standard for your PC. If you're using a controller, Xbox 360 or Xbox One, I was reading in Steam that there's a lot of issues with controller and mouse and keyboard as well, like the aiming. A lot of people are saying that the mouse aiming is just really bad, and there's like aim assist and auto aim and stuff. I didn't notice it because I'm shit at shooters. Just I can't play Call of Duty. Keyboard and mouse controls are similar. Video settings are dead simple. You just can adjust like the screen display area, the brightness and color assist, and then your sound options are pretty much standard sound options. That is your options. Very basic. I would have liked a few more settings to tweak, but one cool thing that I do like with the Resident Evil series is they have this re.net, and I have the mobile phone app, which has like competitions on, and they seem to be adding this into all their sort of titles where you can send your data to, and it just adds that little bit of community feeling where you can go to a website and like register for competitions and win stuff. And they've added that to this because obviously it's going to be a competitive shooter. I would like to see later on though the ability to manage your teams in the game, like actual like set up like teams in the game, or clans as they were called back in the 90s. I don't know what you call them now, but I'd love to see that like option added in there somewhere. So this game is sort of split in two. You have the online, which is your team deathmatch and your objectives and your one life mode, and then you have experiment, which is the single player missions. You take on a number of missions and stuff. They also have a tutorial which I'm going to go through. I've played a bit of experiment. Let's say played quite a lot. You can unlock certain things like decals for your clothing for the multiplayer. And I like the fact that they did that. They offered like a single player mission based experience for people who don't quite like the online competitiveness. They gave them like something to do, like if they didn't want to go online, they just wanted to practice and stuff. I did like that. What I would have liked as well was with the experiment, 4-player co-op would be awesome. The game, I've been told, is still in development though, so a lot of things might come later on. We might get 4-player co-op later. I'll just show you the online. If you click online, you have team match, which puts you into team sort of gameplay. Maybe as they're developing it, we will get online co-op. We might get like online deathmatch types where it's every man for themselves and stuff like that. At the moment, there's only 2 game modes, which I believe is, if I just go on ranked, yeah, you have 1 life, which is 3v3. You basically get 1 life. You have to take out the other team as fast as possible, or like, you know, whatever, you know, skillfully as possible, as a lot of people would say. Then we have multi-mission, where there's a time limit. You get to respawn, and you have to run around and do certain objectives, like collect briefcases, do like radar jamming and stuff like that, which was kind of cool. The online customization for your character is awesome. I will just point out, like, you know, at the moment I'm using Hunk's outfit with Jake's sort of head. The unlockables and stuff kind of killed it for me, but I guess they've gone down that route where you had to unlock stuff. So if I change my outfit, you've got Hunk's tactical gear, the basic CQB gear that you get, and then you sort of unlock like this other stuff. I bought the digital deluxe edition, so I have the faces. There's Hunk's. I put these decals on myself. Hunk's helmet doesn't have decals, but I just put these on because they looked cool. So yeah. A lot of customization. I don't really want to go into all the customization, so I'm going to leave that there now. Weapons are pretty cool. I'm going to show you some gameplay now of the tutorial. There's 2 tutorial missions that I'll take you through. So, gameplay wise, controls are a little clunky. I can live with. They're not too bad, but they are like really clunky. It doesn't, like, when you're using a mouse, it doesn't like seem to have, like, when you go to the edge of the screen, there doesn't seem to be like a fall off point. So if you needed to turn around sort of really fast and you try and do that, you can't. They've added a key for it, like, that you can press to do that. Just would have liked to, you know, like Q, you can sort of see this behind you type of thing. But I kind of would have liked, like, if I tried to turn around, I can't turn around really fast. It just seems to have this. I don't know if that's sensitivity, because even if I update the sensitivity, where is it there? See, I have sensitivity really high at the moment anyway, so this is on like the biggest sensitivity, so it's slightly a bit too fast for me. But this Q setting I do like. I just wish, like, you could have just turn round when you press it, so like if you press it, he does just turn round. I do want to talk about this just really quickly. The zombie jammer. A lot of people were talking about the zombies AI and why don't, like, the zombies like the actual AI attack you and stuff in the beginning of like when they were showing off the trailers and stuff. They were saying like, oh, the animations are shit and stuff. The animations are like very undesirable. But why isn't the AI actually attacking you? And that's because the piece of equipment which he has on his neck, or it's on his back basically, is this zombie jammer, masks your player so that the zombies think that you are a player, so that you are another zombie. I'll just show you that now basically. If I go up to this zombie, you know, they won't do anything because of the jammer that I have on my back. But if I attack a zombie, they have this like red aura around them, and they'll start to come at me. So that is why the zombies do not attack you, is because of the jammer. The zombies themselves are actually pretty cool. They look just like a Resident Evil zombie normally does. Very scary. As with most Resident Evil, the soundtracks is pretty good, like the music in the background's pretty good as well. So this is going to be the end of the tutorial? Yeah. So that's a little bit of the gameplay mechanics, like, you know, the basic movements and stuff. Cover-based systems are implemented. It took me a while to find a match last night, but you know, that's probably because the servers were being hammered and stuff, with a lot of people and issues matchmaking. But eventually I did manage to get into a game, and once I managed to get enough people in one lobby, we just did like a lot of game modes. We managed to sort of try out all the maps. I got to try out Raccoon City, which a lot of people are pissed off about because it doesn't look like the original Raccoon City, and that's because this is a spin-off game. It's not based on the real locations. It's sort of like the SAS training ground for Umbrella soldiers. It's recreations of like the places from the Resident Evil universe, like Raccoon City itself, like the outside the police station. It looks like a battleground, and that's because they've designed it like it would be a battleground. Like, you know, if the city hadn't have been blown up, you know, and they'd have fortified it, this is what the battleground would look like inside of the PD as well. Like, a lot of people, myself included, was slightly pissed off that the inside just didn't look right. But again, it's if you imagine it like a VR scenario, like you've put on a VR headset and this is like a recreation, then you can sort of appreciate it for what it is. It's not a true one-to-one scale complete representation of the actual levels from the past. It's like their new own take on it, their own like recreations of like the past levels and stuff. And I have to say, for the majority of the levels I did enjoy. The Tricell level was really confusing with all the corridors and stuff. The RPD level After a while, I learned how to sort of use the cover properly and managed to get a few kills. Um, I'm not very good at shooters, as I say, so the shooting mechanics weren't too bad. If you are a PC player, I can't believe I'm ever going to say this. I highly recommend using a controller because apparently the game plays better with a controller than it does with a keyboard and mouse. That being said, a lot of people are having issues with the 360 controller, and that might get patched, hopefully. Um, it's early days for this type of game. I'm glad that I bought it. I've seen a lot of people saying that they refunded it straight away. They played like 20 minutes and then refunded it straight away. They're going to wait for a sale. If you're still sat on the edge, Steam summer sales are coming up. Hopefully the game will be in a summer sale. Pick it up really cheap. If you're truly worried about getting the game now, buying into it now, wait for it to go cheaper. Which leads me to the price. I paid £32 for the digital deluxe edition. I don't regret paying £32 a bit. As soon as it popped up on Steam, I threw my money at the screen. I know not everyone is like that. I know people don't really want to be burnt by a one-off type of game. Operation Raccoon City kind of proved that to a lot of people. I liked Operation Raccoon City because I like Hunk and Umbrella and stuff, and that's what I cosplay as, so that's quite close to my heart. I definitely will admit the game has a lot of flaws, but at the same time it has a lot of potential, just as Raccoon City did, like Operation Raccoon City had a lot of potential. This I can see, if they stick at it and they add more levels and more characters, more DLC content to it, and flush out some of the issues, it could be really good. So if you are sat on the edge about buying the game, maybe wait for a massive update. I believe they are still developing the game. In their launch trailer that they released yesterday, it did say that the game is still under development, so more things might get added, more issues might get fixed. So if you're one of these people who you like the look of the game but you're still sort of not sure on and you've read a lot of the issues are here on day one. But if you buy into it, it's fun. It is a fun little game. One little issue that I'm having at the moment is the matchmaking system, and that is, even with a public matches, you're sort of put into this like lobby system where, kind of like Kane and Lynch, you can't launch the game with 4 people. You have to wait for the full 6 or 5 people to like be in the server and stuff. There's just no way to do it and stuff. I'll just show you this now. I would like to be able to... Yeah, you have to wait for the full 6 people. So say like you have 3 people on one team, 2 on the other, and the 2 people on the other team are happy to just play against 3 people, or you have 2 versus 2. The lobby system doesn't sort of split you, so like you have 2 there, and put them together. It just seems to be, it will only wait for 6 players. It will not launch if it has 2 or 4 or 3 or 5. It seems to have a set sort of number, and that is bad, because you could be sat in a lobby like I was last night for half an hour before getting into a game. It did take me about half an hour before I got into the game, and then, as I said, once we got into that game, those 6 people did not leave that game. We stayed on for about 4 hours playing, so I really did enjoy that like sort of session, and I ended up befriending a lot of them on Steam, and we all sort of now communicate. And I've been saying, like, later on today when I'm going to do a live stream, we're going to all try and get on and play together and see if it puts us in together. So ideally, I hope they add in the option for custom game modes where you can host them yourself. That would be a big thing for me, especially with it being a competitive shooter. If you're wanting tournaments, and I guess this is supposed to be like an esports type of thing, you need to add in that custom sort of lobby system so that players can host their own tournaments and launch with like 1-on-1s, 2-on-2, 3-on-3s. That type of system needs to be implemented. So that is my biggest negative thing about this review, is the matchmaking system is a bit flawed at the moment. And if you're thinking that I'm lying about that, the video that you're watching at the moment, I'm still waiting for 5 people, and this is a public lobby. This is what you're watching now, this is the lobby, and it hasn't found me a player yet. Even if I click on the maps, it still doesn't do nothing. I'm now waiting for players to join my lobby, and it is currently nearly 2 o'clock in the afternoon in the UK, so it's about half day. I don't know what time it is around the world, but it hasn't put me in a lobby. And I'm going to exit this lobby, and I'm going to go into rank match. I kind of saved this for the end of the review because I knew this was going to kill a lot of people off. Now, that might not have put me in a lobby because of my choices. I did choose to have like a 5-minute round. I did choose to have 5 objectives and stuff, things like that. There seems to be, like, depending on what your options are, it depends on like who it puts you in with. So if you do like 1 round and you do like 1 round, 1 minute and stuff like that, you'll get put with certain people. So the matchmaking is very precise. You can like say like you want this specific thing, but the problem I found with that was if you do that, it won't put you in with anyone. That's like, it doesn't sort of, like in other games, you do your settings for your matchmaking, it tries to find them and then it comes back and says, cannot find any lobbies. This doesn't seem to do that. This just seems to leave you in your own lobby, and then you have to wait and then come out yourself. I would have liked a server browser, maybe like a little bit of a server browser to see the lobbies and what we could do. So I'm about to go into a game right now. This review is going on far too long, so I'm going to end the review because the video is probably going to be huge to upload to YouTube. Thank you for sticking around with me. If you have listened and watched this review, I'm sorry it hasn't been exciting. I'm sorry if I've missed out on anything that you wanted to know about. Please leave a comment in the comment section and I will try to answer it as best as possible. I'm going to be uploading a lot more videos to this channel now of Umbrella Corps. I'm going to be live streaming a little bit more. So follow me on my Twitch. All the links will be in the description below. As I said, a link to the album of me at the Hammersmith studio for Capcom will be in the link below for my cosplay. There's the Manchester MCM Comic Con coming up, so I'll be cosplaying there as Hunk again with a few other Resident Evil cosplayers. I'm looking forward to Resident Evil 7. If you do own the game and you would like to set up a team or like just want to try and get together for a game on this, my handle for Steam is Mr. Falcos Jerville. I think if you search for that you'll find me and I'll add you, and just send me a message saying you watch one of my videos and you want to play with me. I'm up for playing with anyone. I have a TeamSpeak which I play on because I'm part of an Armour community, so I'll put that in the description as well. Thanks for watching the video. I hope I've gave you a lot of information about buying the game if you do choose to buy the game. If you don't choose to buy the game, then fair play. That's your choice. No one's forcing you to buy the game, and no one's forcing you to watch or read these reviews. If you really don't like what you're seeing, don't read anything about it. It's that simple. Go and look for something else to fill your time with. Capcom seem to be putting these out, and I have to say, according to the sales, people seem to be buying it, so they must be doing something right for players to buy the game. Um, yeah, that's my review, ladies and gentlemen. I hope I've gave you enough information, and see you in the next video.